Look, it's not that I hate Caleb Williams. It's just that I hated the way that people hyped this guy up. Caleb Williams, we saw him last night, saw him last week as well, and it is not looking good for Caleb Williams either. We just talked about how Trevor Lawrence was overhyped. He never lost a football game until he came into the NFL, and then he was just kind of an average QB. Caleb Williams had anything but an average 2 starts. They were both pretty terrible. Yes, he is 1-1, but it wasn't because of the QB play. Looking at Caleb Williams over the last 2 weeks, last night, 23 for 37 for 174 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 5 rushes for 44. Over the last 2 weeks, 37 for 66, 267, 2 INTs, no touchdowns, 10 rushes for 59 yards. So not really as bad as Bo Nix, but not a whole lot better than Bo Nix.
Yeah, so right now, Caleb, if you guys watch the first games against the Titans, you're exactly right. Caleb did not do necessarily his part. His completion percentage was under 50% that game. Nothing could get going. He tried to extend plays. The Titans exploited it. They won that game because they blocked a punt for a touchdown and a pick 6. It's a big reason why they won the game. The Chicago's defense is no joke.
Yeah.
If you watch that game last night between the Texans and the Bears, that Bears defense played well. They Fairbairn, if you had him for fantasy, good for you.
Yeah.
You had to have won your matchup. He put up 20 points. He had 3 50-yard field goals.
Insane.
Yeah.
One of them was 59, I think.
And he had and you held CJ Stroud, the Bears defense, held them to 1 touchdown. It was the Nico Collins great play.
Yeah.
They were in the game. And Caleb Williams, to his credit, was better this game than he was the last game. He was 23 for 37. And the point was that actually it was interesting hearing on the broadcast, watching the game, when they didn't bring pressure on Caleb, he was good against the zone. He was fine. He was solid. He could get it out. But when they brought pressure,
they blitzed the shit out of him.
And there was man-to-man,
yeah,
they had no continuity. DJ Moore was visibly frustrated because the back shoulder throws you try to work on or giving your player a chance, never had a chance. Part of that is on Caleb Williams, but the other part is having time to be able to adjust. Look, guys, I thought it was a step forward, but so far right now for rookie quarterbacks, 0 passing touchdowns.
Yeah.
And for Caleb in that game, 2 interceptions yesterday, average 4.7 yards per attempt. I also think it's a huge thing for rookies to play in the preseason, especially quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I know that they're not playing the same
did.
guys. Caleb sat the last game and he didn't play the first one.
But he played the second one.
Played the second, but to me, you're a rookie.
Yeah. No, I get
that's my point. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is playing in the preseason,
right?
And what does he have left to prove? They play their start. That's a whole different conversation. But why don't we play the clip that Luke Kuechly, if everyone remembers Luke Kuechly, Carolina Panther, one of the best linebackers of all time. He was on with Kay Adams, talked a little bit about Caleb Williams. So let's see what his response and reaction.
You're going to learn a lot, and you're going to learn quickly that in the NFL, hey, it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, boom, check the ball down and move on to the next play, because you can't go from 1st and 10 to start a drive to take a sack and make it 2nd and 15. Your series and your drive is kind of over at that point.
So he's got to pick better spots to run, maybe? Like get the ball out quicker? That's the advice we would give young Caleb.
Yeah, I would just get rid of it. I would say, hey, look, 1's not there, 2's not there. Be real selective when you decide to scramble. But at the end of the day, you just got to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers and let them go do it.
So right there, get the ball in your playmakers and let them go do it. No Keenan Allen yesterday, by the way, out for the game. Roma Dunze had a couple moments coming off a MCL sprain, grade 1, I believe what it is, because if it was a grade 2, no way he'd be out there. He had 2 catches. He missed would have been Caleb's first touchdown. It was a high throw, trying to pinpoint it, and he got his hands on it but didn't bring it down. But they couldn't really run the ball very well. DeAndre Swift, it hasn't worked out. But I think the bigger part is, guys, Caleb, for all the hype for him, and that's the hard part, he hasn't been that savior for Chicago at this current moment here. And there's going to be growing pains. CJ Stroud, after the game, said, hey, they drafted you number 1 for a reason. Keep your head up, type of response. But, guys, how would you grade Caleb Williams. Kevin, do you want to ponder that a little longer, or do you want to lead it off?
I'll ponder.
You want to ponder? That's a good one.
I'm going
to give the floor to Brad.
I'm going C-. Not as bad as Bo Nix, but not a whole lot better. I gave Bo a D, so I'm going to go with a C- for Caleb. Yeah, he does have a lot more to prove, but with the personnel that's around Caleb, he has the best setup for success. So we'll see how this goes. But so did Trevor Lawrence. So
yeah, I would say Caleb definitely offensively
easier. That was a lot better.
They have a lot better, but I'll tell you what, DeAndre Swift still hasn't gotten going. They can't run the ball very well either at the moment. So a lot of things aren't going well, and that puts more pressure on a rookie quarterback. What helps a rookie quarterback? A good run game, not running the ball well. Zach, what you got for a grade?
I'm going to go C. We started to see him look like a little bit more like college Caleb Williams last night. I talked about this in a pre-show meeting. You had that one interception where he broke out of the tackle and it looked like Pac-12 Caleb Williams. He does the thing where he got caught last week. Now he got out of it, and then he throws it downfield, gets interception. I will say you got to give the defender credit. Hell of a freaking play.
Yeah.
Backtracking. But it is one of those things. I think he's starting each week to learn. So far, has it been good? No, I'm giving him a C. But I think that you're starting to see it a little bit more. Next time when he does it, it's, hey, this isn't the Pac-12 anymore. You can't just chuck it 50 yards down the field and a play is going to be made. These are NFL corners and defensive backs tracking that thing down.
It's hard to do backyard football in the NFL, especially with a group you haven't done it long enough with.
Yeah. Unless your name's Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
And even for that, and Lamar is one of one for that.
Right.
And that's, people couldn't tackle him in college, and people still can't tackle him in the NFL. But for Caleb, you also, for the back shoulder throws, to have trust in the wide receivers, you can just tell it's not fully there. I give a C for this right now. And by the way, when we're grading these guys out, this is not how we're expecting down the road. It's like when your parents are coming in for a conference.
Right.
Like, it's like, hey, we're going to do a little bit of a semester.
Don't take me back.